In this video we're going to take a look at the shading options for Word. This is on the Home tab in the Paragraph group on the shading button right here. And the other thing we're going to take a look at is the borders options for Word as well. So let's start off with the shading command. The shading command works in two ways. It's in the Paragraph group, which means that all I have to do is be in the paragraph and select the shading option, and the entire paragraph will get that shading behind it. It also allows me to do something that is not really a paragraph command. I can select just part of the text, and I can go up here and select a shading color, and just the text that's selected will be shaded. So you can either do the entire paragraph simply by being in the paragraph and doing your shading command, or you can select specific text within the paragraph and then apply the shading command. One other thing about the shading command, once I select a color here, you'll notice the last one I picked was this light red here. That's the color that stays on the bucket. And so if you're doing the same color repeatedly, after you set it once, that color will remain on the stripe underneath the bucket here. And then all you have to do is, you don't have to go click on the down arrow and pick out something. You can just click on the bucket here. So I'm in this paragraph 3 here, and if I just click on the bucket now, the entire paragraph gets set to that color. There's no need to go back and hit the down arrow. Now let's take a look at some of our borders options. The borders work the same way. You can apply them to an entire paragraph. If I'm in the paragraph here, and let's say I select all borders, then I get a box around the entire thing. On the other hand, if I just select a few words and pick one of my borders options, the border appears around just the words that I've selected. You have a lot of flexibility here. You can do, let's scroll down a little bit, we'll try some of these things out. Let's select this paragraph right here, and we will do a bottom border, and we get a border down at the bottom of the paragraph. We can also do a top border. We can do, whoops, that turned it off. Let's turn it back on again. And we can also do a left border, and we can do a right border. We could also, of course, get all those at once simply by doing outside borders. All borders will give you interior borders if you have a table or something. If you want to turn all of them off, just go back here and click on No Border. And if you want to customize your borders, you can go down here and choose Borders and Shading. Let's go do that, Borders and Shading. And you can pick whatever style you want. We've got some dotted lines, we've got some thicker lines, some wavy lines, got lots of choices here. And let's just pick, say this, whoops. Okay, we are in an HTML document, that's why it doesn't like that one. So we'll stick with this, and let's pick a color here, and then let's pick a thickness here. Now, if I click on OK, actually let's do that, nothing happens. Okay, the reason nothing happens is because, let's go back here to Borders and Shading. Once you select your style and your color and your width, you need to go over here and select where you want those to appear around the text that you've already selected. So you can just click on the 4 edges here, or you can also click on the button. This button will turn the top border on and off, this will turn the bottom border on and off, this will do the left border on and off, this will do the right border on and off. And click on OK. And now we've got a fat orange border all the way around the paragraph that we had selected. So you can do infinite customization just by going down here and clicking on Borders and Shading and select the appropriate style. If you choose a regular Word format like DOCX, these other options will be available to you. As a matter of fact, let's do that real quickly. Let's do a Save As. Yeah, maybe not so quickly. So I'm going to put it on my desktop, and you see it wants to save as a web file because I pulled it off the web in the first place. But I'm going to save it as a document, Word document, and click on Save here. And yes, we'll replace the one that's already there. And now I'm going to go back into this paragraph here and go to Borders and Shading, and it did not like when I selected some of these other choices here. Now that I've saved it as a docx file, I'm okay. This sets it back to black for some reason. Let's go in here and shade it, and make sure that your preview over here looks the way that you want your document to look. If it does not, you'll have to go over here and do some clicking to make sure that it looks the way you want before you click on OK. And there we go. Now we get a red border with a double line, fat line on the outside and a skinny line on the inside, all the way around that paragraph. So you have a lot of options with the borders command. And notice also you can get to a shading tab here too, and you can select a shading color. There's usually not much need to go here to do that because you can pick it directly off of this button right here. And that takes care of shading and borders in Word 2010.